So how many of you guys have ever had a friend or family member get charged for underage drinking or anything like that, so an MIC or a DUI? Yeah, so by reducing the drinking age to 18, we're not only protecting ourselves as minors, for those of us that are, but we're also protecting our friends. Johns Hopkins School of Public Health said that approximately 10 million people between the ages 12 and 20 have drinking alcohol within the last month. My name is Christopher Sage, and as somebody that's under 21 and has had plenty of friends get in trouble at parties and whatnot, I also know the temptations that comes with being in college and high school and wanting to drink. Minors drinking under the age of 21 leads a pretty hard start when you have a DUI on your background check and maybe an MIC. If you're over 18, you can't get it expunged. But signing a petition to lower the drinking age to 18 can help us make the youth more successful later on in the future. But before we talk about the solution, we have to talk about the real problem. Teens are being charged with crimes that will haunt them for the rest of their lives. One thing, definitely, it's harder to get a job because you're going to have background checks from an employer that you might not put on an application like, hey, I got a DUI at this party because I was being an idiot or whatever. But when they do this background check and they see that you didn't list that, they're just going to throw out your application right off the bat. Amy Solomon said in a study that 1/3 of Americans have been arrested by the age of 23, and those misdemeanors that you get in college or even felonies, which a DUI is felony, will create conflict later on in your job and your career. But there's only one solution to protect the teens from these problems. We can reduce the drinking age to 18. By lowering the drinking age to 18, minors are less likely to drink unsafely because one, it'll be legal for them to drink safely, and then two, they won't feel like they have to hide it. And so then that takes me to my next point, which will be talking about supervised locations. I'm not saying like we have one adult watch over 10 kids to drink or something, but if the drinking age is 18, the kids, not kids, that sounds rude, but underage drinkers will be able to drink in bars or restaurants or things like that, and when they have other adults around them, they won't be, oh, I can't drive home because I'm underage. They'll want to call an Uber instead of driving home or something like that. Drinking age pro-con, they do all types of different debates, and their one for the drinking age said prohibiting bars and restaurants and other legally licensed dealers of alcohol say that when we prohibit things like that, it wants them to drink in unsafe places like house parties and fraternity houses where the most binge drinking occurs because you can't go to those as frequently as you can go to a bar or something, so that's their one time to get their alcohol or whatever you want to say. But why let the youth suffer when we can make them more successful later on in the future? So we can definitely help by signing this petition to change the drinking age to 18. And then it'll be easier for them to get a job. Just because, like I said earlier, you're not going to have that background check come up and bite you in the ass. And then there won't be a legal bias when you're applying. So if me and one of you turn in an application and we both don't have criminal things in our background, like an MIC or a DUI, we're both going to get the same opportunity for the job. NYLN.org said their biggest counter-argument is the medical issue, which we all know by 25 your brain isn't fully developed. And while that makes sense for underage youth, at the same time people are going to binge drink even if you're an adult, and I guarantee you if you're 26 drinking the same amount of alcohol, you're going to also have brain damage. But if we come together and start a petition in Arizona, we can finally do something to go ahead and help lift our youth up rather than giving them a DUI and holding them down for the rest of their lives. So, like I said before, being charged with felonies, that'll definitely impact them for the rest of their lives, but by reducing that age, we can give them a better start and, better yet, a fighting chance. By a show of hands, how many of you did I either change your mind about the drinking age or at least give you a little bit more insight about it? Sweet. I thought you guys were going to have to go home and sleep on it or something. But yeah, so let's put an end to our youth getting themselves into trouble, because we all do it, by signing a petition to lower the drinking age to 18. And if you care about the youth like I do, I know you'll sign. Thank you.